Hey folks, welcome back to another video. You join me at a ridiculously sunny Anstey's Cove. There was probably some footage of me walking in or something, trying to up my B-roll game a little bit. October in Devon, it feels like flipping summer. It's definitely t-shirt off climbing weather. You have to excuse me, I'm going to put my sunglasses on because the sun is shining off the sea behind the camera. It's just so flipping bright. Coasterers down there jumping off rocks, so it's quite early in the morning. I'll probably put some footage up of people climbing and falling off. If you've not been to Anstey's Cove, if you're climbing, like, there's a few sixes and there's some trad stuff, but the kind of the main event is the sort of harder sport in the sevens and eights. There's a wall behind me that's got things like cider soaked tuppence, sort of hard stuff in the eights. Empire Wall, I'll be flashing up some footage at this point as well. Really cool stuff. And it's just it's a really friendly place, and people are just always like trying really hard, so it's like really good for the psyche here. I'm trying a route around the corner called Leather Whip Mick, which is an 8A. It's got some climbing in common with other routes I've done here, Avenged and Just Revenge, but a harder start and a harder finish, and middle's the same. Really good. I'm going to have some proper burns on it today. Yesterday was my first day on it. The point of this video though was to review this massive pack that is about the size of me. As you can see, I'm sat next to it, the Blue Ice Moonlight 55. I'm supported by Beyond Hope, who are the distributors for Blue Ice amongst other things, so they have sent me this kindly free of charge. This bag is like super similar to the other thing that regular viewers will know I use on my sort of sport climbing and cragging kind of days out, the Black Diamond Creek. Really similar, but with a few differences. The first one being it's 55 litres, so it's 5 litres bigger, and actually that's really worthwhile. I'll empty this out in a minute to show how much stuff you can get in it. But in the bottom of this I've got an 80-metre rope, I've got loads of other stuff as well, and in the Black Diamond one it just about fits in when I've got all my camera stuff as well, like the GoPro, the camera I'm filming on and all that as well. So the 50 is a good size and it's big enough for 90% of people. But that extra 5 litres, it does make a difference, so I am a fan of that. The sort of similarities are massively tough material. This weighs 1700 grams, so 1.7 kilograms. That's really heavy, isn't it? But you know, it's not trying to be a lightweight pack. I imagine this will last for a long time. I've been using it for a couple of weeks. It shows no sign of wear, as you'd expect for a couple of weeks, but this thing is going to last yonkies, I should imagine. It's got a flat bottomed base, so it does stand up quite nicely. That might seem like a silly thing, but actually it's quite useful when you're taking stuff in and out of it. It just sits well, it's just convenient to use. The back system, I think, is actually, it feels to me a bit better than the Black Diamond one. It's kind of a bit more comfortable. It's proper big padding, fixed waist belts. Again, regular viewers will know that I like to ditch the waist belts early doors on rucksacks, but I'm carrying such heavy loads with these packs that actually I quite like to keep this on anyway, which is good because it is a fixed one, but I think you're going to be using it anyway when you're carrying such big loads. It's a real simple design. It's just one massive compartment. And the thing that I really like about it is it opens up down the front, that I'll show you in a second, so you can just get in and out of it like really easily. There's the other design that I really like, the Blue Ice Octopus, which is more like a suitcase. It isn't quite that, but it's still really flipping useful. Other features are a little top pocket. I haven't got anything in there at the moment. 2 side pockets. These are a really good size actually, just trying to find which is which, because you've got one on either side, but just to give you an idea of how big they are, I bring my fingerboard in one. It's you know, it just fits. You have to squeeze it in, but it fits in pretty easy. You see I'm taking it out quite easily, so that's an awesome Woody's one. That just slides in, so that gives you an idea of how much space you get in those side pockets. Dead useful. The top bit, it's just got your standard kind of rope strap on, so if you're doing a big trad day, adventurous trad day, or something, wanted to carry a big abseil rope in or something, you could strap that to the top really easily. Different points it can attach into. Big grab loop at the back. It's got these bits at the front as well, so you can actually carry it like a duffel bag, so if you're chucking it, you know, in the back of cars, trains or whatever, super easy for that as well. And then the top is it's pretty standard stuff. This buckle I haven't got done up, just protects the zip, stops it from opening. Then it's just a drawstring kind of thing. So I'm in a slightly precarious spot, so I'm going to try not to drop anything out of it, because it'll disappear into the brambles and that. But as I open it up, you can just see, you just unzip a big chunky zip, so I imagine that's going to last a long time because it's really thick and useful. for longevity. And then there's pretty much everything in it. It's still, despite me saying how warm it is when the shade comes around in the afternoon on some bits, it's still pretty chilly. So I've got the big mountain equipment Citadel, and then I've got, you know, everything you'd expect really. Harness that I'm using, which is a Black Diamond Zone, some rock shoes, 2 pairs. I like to have 2 pairs, depends on what I'm going to climb. Your chalk bag, everything obvious like that. A bit of extra filming stuff, GoPro and what have you. You can see it's pretty cavernous. Flip-flops, I love flip-flops at a sport crag, really useful, just to, it gives your feet a break when they're not jammed into things. My quick draws are all in roots at the moment. Cam's using some as well, so this was to symbolise quick draws, but it easily takes like the 20 or so draws that I brought along. Water, fuel, you know, the usual stuff that I bring every time. Crisps for my lunch. There's the water. The pile down there is growing. I'm trying not to let it disappear down the crag. And then heel bars, because you know I love my heel as well. Like I said, the big 80-metre rope, just because that's happened to be what I brought with me. Actually, I think this is a 70 now. I've taken it out. I just keep that in the bag. It's got a tarp in there as well, but just to make it easier for taking in and out. The gree, of course. And then inside, you've got another pocket which has things like my masks in it for going in and out of shops, wallet, warming up stuff, you know, the ring, the TheraBand, that kind of stuff. It's a good size, so it takes everything like that, your keys and what have you. And then just inside as well, you've got a couple of little loops if you want to rack stuff, you know, just to keep things more organised really, so that's really useful. It's a beast of a bag, so you know, if you're going on a mountaineering day carrying a rucksack with you, it's not for you, it's not intended to be. But for going to and from the crag and just being, you don't have to worry about it at all. I used to use like lightweight bags, had some nice sort of Patagonia Ascensionist stuff like that. These days I use a Blue Ice Warthog, which is you know, it's tough, but it is thin because it's trying to be light as well, so I'm worried about poking nut keys through the material and ripping stuff. This thing, chuck everything in, there's so much space, you don't have to pack it carefully, it's just dead convenient. Price wise, I'm not really up to date on what's expensive and what isn't expensive, but it seems reasonable for a bag that's going to last for so long. It retails at 170, as you know I'm supported by Outside as well, this channel is. And you can get it for 150 there, they've got it on offer. So 150 for something that's going to last you years and years, it's not much a year really, is it? So I think like this is going to be my go-to bag. After a couple of weeks I've already resigned the Black Diamond one into the cupboard in favour of this one. And don't get me wrong, that Black Diamond one is brilliant. I just think this is a little bit bigger. Things like these straps, the zip's in a slightly nicer place. The front flap that you get on the Black Diamond Creek that kind of seems useful, actually it's hard to get into, so I prefer these bigger side pockets and I prefer the carrying system as well. So undoubtedly there's a lot of similarities, but it's just got a few little tweaks. There's always something I don't like about it, but you know, it's pretty minor. Again, I'm comparing it to the Black Diamond one, and that's got a little rain cover that pops over the top. It doesn't cover the whole thing, just the top bit, so when I'm working and stuff I'll often put that over because I work in North Wales and it rains a lot, so that's quite handy. But you know, there's ways around that, and that's such a minor thing. So there's not really a lot I'd change about it, if anything. Maybe the colour's a bit boring, isn't it? I'd rather a bright yellow or something like that, but you know, it's neither here nor there really. Please do fire away questions on that. There are bits of other stuff, I'm sure I've missed stuff because it's just like a quick review really. Bits of daisy chain for clipping stuff too, I'm sure. You know, if you're putting a helmet on the outside or something, I'm not really sure, but they're there if you want to use them for something. Like I say, I'm sure I've missed something, but just a quick fire review. I've got routes to be doing. I thought I'd do this while it's nice and quiet at the crag, and the sun, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? I think Cam's going to go for a swim later as well because it's lush down there, but I don't like getting cold and wet particularly. As always, fire away with any questions on the bag or anything else. Put some suggestions for other videos down there as well. More than happy to line some things up. I've got a little book I put all these notes in, so fire away and we'll get round to them eventually. As always though, massive thanks for the support, massive thanks for clicking the like button, the subscribe button, and don't forget to find us on Instagram and Facebook and all the things I say every time. But as always, thanks very much for watching. More videos coming up very soon.